Just because, like,
ooh, your favorite smoke on smoke action.
Beautiful stuff.
But GPK already to the high ground. Are they aware that there's more on the other side here? Because they are sandwiched a little bit over here. Koo trying to run away. They've got a lot of damage. Just going to use the purification. A couple clicks coming out here, but Koo sitting very, very low. They throw out the axes, and Save is going to draw the first blood here. I'm not even sure they're quite done yet, although looks like VP, they're going to back off a little bit, and they're happy with this engagement.
Yeah, and the key thing here is on SD, Save. His poison isn't dispellable. So maybe in the past, Slark laning into this, you'd be able to take 2-3 stacks, dispel it yourself, you're living life. But now you can't. So you're going to be always under pressure where it's 4 or 5 stacks. And this lane isn't going to be as easy as expected. They showed their hand very early in the draft with this Slark. And I think we have to put a lot of emphasis on this type of lineup where on paper, VP's draft looked like it scales so nicely in all matchups. It's on T1 to play a really strong laning phase, break down that laning phase quick enough to get the ball rolling, and then maybe like a quick Aegis. But again, this is a rare moment where the draft does heavily favor one team. But again, T1, they're drafting it, they're clearly confident in this, they're going to give it a go. And just to kind of set the scene of this game, I believe now it is already confirmed all the seeds for the group. So this is a game which has nothing really attached to it other than kind of learning and experience through trying new things. So I think...
And pride.
Exactly.
Definitely pride involved whenever we see anything like this, but right now this draft feels very, very comfortable for BP, as everyone has stated. I'm a huge fan of, everyone's talked about GPK, very, very good mid player, obviously, but Save on that Shadow Demon is very, very classic. This guy knows his heroes. We watched what he could do with the line in the last game with being able to be in the right positioning at the right time to protect his core, so I can only imagine we'll see some very nice plays coming out here.
Yeah, and the nice thing as well in regards to T1, the reason why NCM in theory look pretty good is, at least in the game against like Terrorblade against Beastmaster, the value of Frostbite, the value of Enchant, they are going to be able to make plays to mitigate the kind of split push style of game that VP takes. But yeah, it's all about accelerating their game quick enough to get into the game and to take the fights before you have Mantis Guardian on a Terrorblade, a quick bots on Viper. Quick pause. Back in we go.
Just had some headset battery issues. They're ready to go again. It looks like we've got the cams up and running now as well. Always a fun part of the experience. Everyone's sitting very low here on the side of T1 here in this top lane. It's only so much harass really a Kristen Maiden can do other than, just getting off perhaps double Novas and whatnot, but she has to be very careful on her positioning.
And the nice change up here for Terrorblade is he did go for the reflection. Of course, they're fighting for the bounty rune, but in lane as well.
The body blocks, they've got the meta. This is looking like a dead Zephyr. And then they're going to try to get some more damage over onto Koo, but not going to be able to get themselves a secondary kill here.
No, yeah, I really like the fact that he did start a reflection. Like in lane, he was allowing Kingslayer to play with the illusions, and then as soon as they get level 2, he uses reflection. You have the fire spirits, you're going to kill off the Crystal Maiden. So Nightfall going to be very happy with his entry to the game. And GPK mid lane, just positioning himself on the high ground here. Really nice stuff. Carl, at best, he can farm with a torrent, but GPK is going to deny as much as possible.
I feel bad for Carl here. That is not a fun lane to play.
I mean, they picked a Kunkka for him where they still offered up a lot of the counters. They did, I believe, ban out, I think it's like TA and Razor. But yeah, unfortunately, Dota, there's so many heroes that can annoy these kind of melee style of mids.
I mean, the name of the game here for Carl is just to make sure that he can stay in the lane, I think is the big thing. And of course, obviously, you want to be able to farm, but it's a very spooky place here. Top lane, Kingslayer sitting a little bit low. So he got Nova'd earlier. But the bottom lane, 23 Savage, yeah, like you said, we're starting to see those stacks of Shadow Poison coming into play here. And again, they're no longer dispellable.
One more axes.
Just need axes coming through. The juke's coming out from 23 Savage. This is still looking like he's dead, though. Was a valiant choice, but when you cut down all the trees providing you cover, you're not going to be able to run away.
And real nice from Dim as well. He doesn't obviously put any points into his boar because you're playing into an Enchantress, and if you weren't playing into Enchantress, you're playing into a Crystal Maiden. So put the point in axes and you have all the spam, be it the poison, be it the axe. This Slark isn't going to have that much fun of a time. Slark thrives going against these like beefier off lanes that you can just slowly click down and build up your stacks on. And when you have this double nuke lane, it's not going to feel too comfortable. But Slark's still doing pretty well on CS.
More harass. Oh man, Crystal Maiden having to fight herself. The life is already so hard. Do land another one of those spirits, but do have the Heavenly Grace. So Zephyr's ticking down to 30-something HP. Will be able to stay alive for now.
And this is also a position for Enchantress. So we've already spoke the idea like, oh, they got the Ench, the CM, the Omni and all this, but they're playing an off-lane Omni Knight. They're playing a position for, Crystal Maiden. They are showing us, some new stuff. And yeah, it'll be cool to see if there's like a timing that they play for, but I'm yet to see it myself. So this is very much a learning game to see if T1 really has some cards to kind of reveal to the rest of the tournament.
I think those are some of the best matches, though, too, when you're looking at something and you're like, I'm not quite sure how the pieces really fit together. But, obviously these guys, they're excellent at what they do. And they can teach us quite a few lessons if we're willing to sit back and pay attention, so.
Or they lose in 20 minutes. But either way,
and then we still lose. Or, sorry, we still learn.
True. That is true. Dota is very much a learning experience. That is the beauty of the game.
That's every game, Even you win, you lose, you learn something every single time.
I'd like to cover the fact that Omni Knight Shard, they did destroy it before it even came online. With 7.3, they turned it into this kind of... Are they going to kill the... Oh,
yep.
They killed the Phoenix?
Wasn't even able to go and use the Icarus dive there because of the root.
There is a lot of nuke in this lane, but yeah, going back to the Shard, it used to be a 4-second cooldown, pure damage, like it put your purification into your right click. It worked on creeps, it worked on heroes, and there was some quirky core plays you could make, but now it's just like a damage reduction nuke, and it doesn't work on creeps either. So unfortunately, the aggressive style of Omni Knight did die in the patch, as he now has to TP away to the threat of a Metamorphosis Terrorblade.
But I mean, now becomes the issue of the Walk of Shame, right? This is going to give even more space here to the Terrorblade to be able to just hit creeps, not be bothered at all.
Yeah, net worth-wise, it is looking pretty healthy for the side of Dire. It's 2.6k for both Viper and TB, and the Slark and the Kunkka just shy of 2.1k.
Some movement over here to this mid lane. Just going to try to get some wards down, get some dewarding going on. Bottom lane, 23 Savage forced to pounce away. Has a couple stacks of the Shadow Poison again.
Diving onto mid as well, just really trying to ramp up the pressure. GPK, of course, heading 6.
Sunray, they have everything they need. He's going to try to throw a boat out just to buy a bit more time. Almost manages to get the Phoenix here, but just a little short on damage.
Yeah, really nice moves from VP here. They identified the fact that TV doesn't really need help top. And then, of course, Save's now trading his life for DM to get a kill. One more accident than a right click. Ench isn't level 6, of course, being minute 6. He's not going to be hindered by that kill. Yeah, VP just very slowly turning up the aggression. The nice thing about this game is both teams have the potential of trying to make earlier plays through the supports, naturally wanting to kind of find kills. And also for VP, they want to play around this Viper.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried right now because you look at the net worth, and right now Viper, as expected, sitting at the top of net worth, but also so is the Terrorblade right underneath him. As although he's trading off here with Slark, so 23 Savage is of course keeping up.
And the nice thing, I guess, about the for T1 here is Beastmaster. He's actually lower net worth.
Ooh, Viper Strike, teleport coming out. Carl's going to be forced to teleport out of the lane.
That's a good tip from Carl. He's like, I know you counterpicked me.
Okay. All right.
Happens.
Still needs to be careful here because he did just use the Sunder and he doesn't have any help here in the lane. He's going for a bit of a dive. He's just going to teleport away. He knows that they don't have anything else to cancel the teleport. So pressure being placed in the top lane coming out from T1. But over in this middle lane, GPK is truly king here.
Yeah, if Enchantress had maybe a different creep, then like a stun or a slow, that could have really helped out there. But of course, didn't have that, just had the Tornado instead. And VP going to be pretty happy with this, able to take mid tower. And T1, like right now in this window of the game, Beastmaster, he played a very sacrificial laning phase. He had to buy boots, he had to buy the Ring of Protection, like a lot of stuff that we haven't seen offlaners buy because they're normally trying to accelerate their game to the Helm of the Overlord. As we see a replay here, like he gets rooted up, he uses that reflection, he doesn't have Sunder, but Cuckoo doesn't have Purification, there aren't any additional stuns. Like this is the weakness of T1's lineup right now. Their stuns come in the form of Kunkka with a Torrent and a boat, and then maybe Enter of a creep. Everything else are like these soft stuns or like roots and slows. It's not that optimal, but they need to ride that wave of aggression. When Slark hits 1 or 2 items, ramp up the play, get across the map. But right now it's mode recovery, try and jungle as much as possible, try and force out a lot of rotations through, Cuckoo here just being annoying.
GPK is here. They will slow down Ku. Does have the Heavenly Grace. He is fairly fast, so GPK just going to turn back around, farm up here, get rid of these creeps.
And just to clarify on Omni Knight there, he did have a phase boots in his quick buy. He most likely will be disassembling his mana boots and completing the phase boots, not doing the double boot strat, hopefully.
More than likely.
That would be a first.
No, I think we've seen it by accident before, but it's not something
Trank
that
was
you
rather
want to be
annoying.
known for, you know?
The guy that bought 2 boots. He could... Oh, wait. There was actually a period of time where people would actually buy 2 phase boots just because of the damage and what it provided.
I feel like that's not particularly
it was like
efficient.
a year ago, to be fair.
Sounds like something that people found in pubs.
Yeah, it was like... It's like one of those things where it appears in pubs, it's tried in like 1 or 2 pro games, and they're like, probably shouldn't.
Carl making this rotation. X marks the spot. But did have... Oh, tried to save himself, but definitely not going to survive that much damage. My goodness.
Yeah, and this is what T1 kind of need to look to do, is just kind of bring the cores in, find a kill, and just keep on farming. Like, they are maybe 4 to 5 minutes away from being able to actually make some cross-river plays. But right now, they just need to accept the fact that VP, they will be able to dominate in these early fights. Just like T1 in the previous game, they had the Phoenix, they had the AET, the Kings of Counter-Aggression. Now VP has them, but in the form of a Shadow Demon, the vision advantage of Beastmaster, and T1 needs to make sure they select the correct fights. And it's why you see Slark actually going for a Diffusal Blade. Like, he's identifying the fact, like, he can't just go Echo Saber and try and right-click a TV. That's not going to work. You need to try and play around the small mana pool he has, prevent that Sunder, and surprise him with that big damage you might get from a CM.
Or surprise him down in the bottom lane. DM trying to get with the body blocks. They have the Tuxin down. They've already applied the Viper Strike here as the Shadow Dance has been used. The Roar will get used as well. And they will cut down 23 Savage and trees around his tower. They also find themselves a kill on Zephyr. As Nightfall making this rotation, it has the Metamorphosis. Whiteman running for his life over here, but he takes too much damage. Save getting a double kill. And Ku trying to finish off safe. He's got the high 5 out. He's going to pay for that with his life. Bit cheeky as they go for the Guardian Angel play over on Ku. Running for his life. But again, they have the other. Yeah, they've got the Sunray. Can they get off enough damage in time? He's sitting so low. He goes, he pops that wand. It looks like he's going to survive thanks to the purification as well. So pressure being placed over on the bottom lane. They got themselves a couple candy kills on the side of VP. But pressure is also being placed in the other lanes by T1.
T1 just can't afford to have these deaths. Like, when we see the type of game T1's playing, like Slark and Diffusal Blade, that's giving yourself maybe 1 kill to then go for it. And he lives on, was it like 20 HP?
25 or something.
20, yeah. It's like, oh, let's rewind just to clarify.
21.
Ooh, 21 HP. Does he react? He's like, easy.
Just made it.
Beautiful. But yeah, they can't.
Pull.
Are they going to be able to X mark him? No, it's on cooldown. Alas. But yeah, when T1 picks up this Diffusal Blade, I'm really excited to see them just run at Virtus.pro. As long as they are able to like maybe dodge the Beastmaster and just instantly get onto Terrorblade, they will be able to remove his ability to Sunder.
Double damage, Nightfall. Ku is just, oh no, at the last second save, making sure that he cannot complete that TP. You know what I want to see, T?
What would you like to see, Mopsy?
I would like to see at some point a race for the rune and perfectly timing the picky pull so that way you get that little extra burst of speed. Secure it. That's what I want to see.
We'll just see them run for rune. Okay.
Because you have to time it just right. Because you got to make sure that you're not still in pig form. Because you can't do anything in pig form.
So you want to have 2 heroes in pig form. Let's double it up. 2 heroes in pig form.
No, only one. I want to see it just come in handy. But the egg gets committed here as Whitemon is going to fall. The egg will eventually pop.
Nice.
So it's a bit of a trade of supports over on the side here.
6.5k net worth on the Terrorblade. Went on the way, and of course GPK as we see here, the Dragon Lance, the Boots of Travel going for the VKB. And yeah, there's a 2k lead. VP just playing a very slow, methodical game. They might be throwing away a couple kills here and there, but realistically, they've only lost 1 tower. They know that they are the team that scales well into this game, and it is T1 that needs to make the first move. Cuckoo going for a drum as well. They are investing so heavily into cheap items that they just want to try and take that one play. Slark's just about to complete Diffusal Blade. Omni Knight's just about to complete Drum. This is honestly the best window in the game right now for T1 to make the game feel messy. You know, you get that clean smoke in, you maybe connect on the Beastmaster or the Terrorblade, you get the kill, hope SD or Phoenix is in the area to have that disruption save or the egg covering the exit. And that could allow T1 to start trying to get a little bit of entry to this game, because this will be difficult if they fail this move here, just because the farming efficiency of both Viper and TB.
Smoke play coming out now from the side of T1. The walk past the TB illusion. Not baited by that. And they're trying to find an opening. Nightfall, of course, over by the tower here by Save. I can see that there's a courier flying over, so...
Really nice positioning from VP, moving around with the buddy system. Save, like kind of tanking the smoke gank potential, going into TB farm with the tri-camp, and the rest of VP all holding hands in the enemy jump.
They're all moving. They're converging. They're going to try to protect this tower. Heavenly Grace placed over onto 23 Savage. Kingslayer looking for an opening here. Does not have the egg this time. So get a double Nova off from Zephyr.
T1 having the back out. They weren't able to find the skirmish. That is his own little picky ball. Look at him run away. Whee! And he's out. That is, yep. Unfortunately, the most T1 can do is hex himself in their retreat. They tried to go for the little pickoff. They weren't able to find it. And the result of that is an extra 1k going towards VP. The unfortunate thing in Dota is when you smoke up, you naturally are trading, pushing out lanes, farming jungle, and just, you know, growing as a team. So because they didn't find that kill, VP is able to just continue solidifying their place within the game. T1 might look to instantly smoke up again to try and find and cut into VP. But this is like the big decision point for T1. Like, do they fight or do they just try and farm and then make like the outplays going into the future?
They stole the Purge creep away from DM here.
The real, I believe, okay, nice, yeah. So if you use Helm of the Overlord on a creep and then steal it with Enchantress or any of these type of heroes, you aren't then also gaining the benefits of the Overlord. It is only when it's under the effect.
Well,
so,
right now it's just the regular.
Yeah, exactly. So in the
Dominator.
future, when that happens again, that won't happen.
That would be way too busted. Can you imagine?
I know. I as soon as I saw the item be good, I went into lobby just to test, like, if you Overlord and then steal, then Overlord, does it keep building? But of course not. It doesn't work like that. It is simply the creep under your effect is the one that gets it.
Right.
Because that would be pretty cool. That would be a nice counter. Like the idea that you get to run this creep down, but if I steal it, haha, I've now got it against you.
Can you imagine if you just kept continuously super buffing a creep over and over and over until it's basically the size of, you know, something with the giant swing?
I mean, we are still yet to see the draft of Invoker, Ogre, you know, some Alacrity, some Bloodlust. Put it onto that creep and just watch that independently win a game.
Can you imagine if that was a game at TI, just this massive, like, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man-sized creature just...
I would be so down. That'd be so sick, actually. Alas. Maybe we'll see it in a pub. I want to see at least one meme, like, maybe not the guy that fakes YouTube content by smurfing. Screw that guy, that's terrible. But, like, maybe a real YouTube creator can actually run the strat in a real MMR bracket and just give it a go. Maybe an unranked first to test the waters, but I'd love to see we only focus on the neutral creep for the gameplay. That'd be cool.
Now, how do you feel about the Slark building? Because I think Cinderin was talking about a different build over on panel earlier.
He was mentioning the
Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer, yeah. I think the Diffusal Blade's better, like I mentioned, just for the idea of killing off the TB. Take away the mana.
The Sunder, right?
Exactly. But it's very much a pre-20 minute, there's no BKB type of gameplay. The Mage Slayer is really good for preventing, you know, Viper from playing Dota and stuff like that. But again, it's one of the things, like, who's the biggest issue right now for you? And I think 23 Savage identified that if he can survive and remove Viper or TB because they have small mana pools, that might be the better play than just mitigating the damage. It's like the same concept as when Nyx used to be able to break, or this Omni Knight Shard that we have nowadays. Like, how reliable can it be to lock onto that target and to have that damage mitigation compared to being able to run in and out and play around their mana? So I think both builds are warranted and very strong. I love seeing Mage Slayer, but
23 Savage has found DM over on the side. The roar comes out. He's going to jump away. They're off the disruption. The boat coming through. They're going to be able to take down DM. Egg popping off to the side, though. No one is paying attention to Kingslayer as they get the Hex up over, and that looks like they'll be able to take down Carl. 23 Savage forced to pounce away as Crystal Maiden just letting it go over here. Sitting in the break. It's just taking way too much damage. It's going to be a dead Zephyr. 23 Savage, does he think about going back in? Turns back around over onto GBK. He's got a lot of damage. They should be able to take out this Viper. Whiteman also ticking down, though. So much damage applied to him as he also has creeps chasing him. The little speed cup creep. And, of course, Nightfall securing the kill.
Honestly, not the worst fight for T1. They're able to showcase the strength of their heroes when they're able to play into their own vision. You know, VP, they started that fight with a really, really nice egg, kind of forcing T1 to play into the dire side of the map. But the high ground freezing field, the Slark playing on the kite, Omni Knight being able to run away with them. Like, they bought these cheap items, and maybe if they were able to connect to that previous smoke, it would have been better. But the fact that T1 are able to actually take these fights, take this tower, it is not looking that bad. But yeah, it's one of those things. They're playing into the point where when Terrorblade decides to buy BKB, when VP play around their vision and they aren't like instantly picked off, it's going to be a lot harder. But we saw in the previous game, VP, they sometimes can relax a little bit, and T1, that's how they were able to stay into that game and able to keep themselves going.
I mean, that is one thing about T1 you can definitely say is they are very determined. They do not give up easily.
Yes.
Zephyr over here, though, is not going to be able to do too much as he runs into the gank squad of VP.
Yeah, what I'm seeing so far from the series is like T1, when they smoke, they have a really good read on how to kind of cut through and find the hero. Like, so far we've seen 2 smokes. One didn't work, but the second one was really good. They were able to find the Beastmaster to make that play. So I'm looking to see T1 make another smoke play, try and cut him. Because if they are able to find Terrorblade, he is very easily going to die. It's just the fact that they aren't able to lock on top of him. Like, he has 800 mana. When he starts to fight, he's going to already use around, you know, maybe 220 of that just on his basic skill set. So this is the idea that Slark locks in, uses ultimate, boom, you fight, you go. Soon about to buy BKB. Like, this is the best point in the game right now. T1's got maybe about 10 to 15 minutes left in this game until it does feel like there's this unkillable wall, because of course Slark into Terrorblade, when Terrorblade has Scardy, BKB +1, it is pretty hard. Ooh, a Blink Rush on the Crystal Maiden. That means we're going to see some pretty quirky high ground, like hit ward spot ultimates and try and just to try and kill some stuff. Because there's not a lot of stuns on VP, right?
Well, it's about to be a very dead Phoenix if they can get the final hit off, but no, they have the Icarus dive, so he's going to be absolutely fine. The Roar getting thrown out on the back end. Q is already taken out. 23 Savage, he needs to get out of there as fast as possible, and he is going to be able to teleport as Whiteman runs away along with Zephyr. Zephyr just farming some creeps on his way out. All right, I see you.
If my carry can't farm them, I will.
Finally, I can hit the creeps. GPK wandering over. What are you doing?
He's just posturing.
Oh, because it's a bait as 23 Savage jumps and pokes a little bit. But will dodge away, hiding in the trees, regenning back up. This Metamorphosis is going to run out fairly soon here over on Nightfall.
23 Savage, he has the Blink Dagger that he just,
Teleport
of course,
coming
revealed
in.
there.
Carl looking for the opening. They make the jump out to GBK, but immediately going to be banished away. Followed up with a boat. The BKB coming out from GBK, looking if he can grab anyone else, but 23 Savage already hiding in the tree line, regenning. T1 feels like they want to try to punish here. GBK, that's a very, oh wow, they didn't have the vision on him. He's just slightly out of vision. Save again, turning around with the disruptions. Gonna try to get himself over to the tree line. Try buy enough time here. Nightfall, but they managed to pounce him. He's not going anywhere. Save will go down. And now Nightfall trying to man fight here. Does manage to get the Sunder off. Can he get anything done though? It's not looking good. Not with 5 heroes on the side of T1 surrounding him.
That was beautiful. The way that 23 Savage is playing, he's getting in, he's out, he's just annoying VP. And VP put themselves in this position where they're like awkwardly committing to this tier 2 and they're not respecting the cooldown of the ultimate on Slark. He used it at the very start when he's escaping the fight, but it comes up quick enough that he can use that blink and run on back in. But yeah, T1 just, this is a perfect example of a draft that doesn't look that good, but if you itemize for your draft, you can have moments of brilliance. And this is it here. As VP are trying to go on their escape, GPK just instantly TPs out, doesn't have the BKB. You see Save here trying to help the Terrorblade get out of the fight. But of course, they have the Torrent just to see there, and then the pinging it. Guys, he's TPing because of course it's daytime. They're not seeing him run up or to the right-hand side. So they assume he's in this tree line, and then they catch him with the pounce from 23 Savage. A very skirmish-orientated style of gameplay from T1 right now. And like I said, like so many times now, this is the window of the game where they actually get to play Dota. Because these type of things will not occur with a BKB. But T1, they can look to exploit that. They can group up again and just keep going. Because this time, Terrorblade, he does have meta. but he only has Skadi, Dragonlance, and Yasha. And we haven't really touched on it too much. This Crystal Maiden, where are the stuns? We've got a Blink Dagger rushing the BKB. Like, it's going to be, you're going to either have to roar the Crystal Maiden, you're going to either have to, that's it. When she gets the BKB,
there's nothing else.
But before that, of course, you have the Egg Pop and you have Disruption. They're going to be the two main things. But yeah, T1, if they can annoy VP well enough with 23 Savage going in and out of the fight, the key thing here is their gameplay is all about waste the BKB.
He is going to have to fish flop down here with the pounce.
He's being really annoying.
I mean, that's what a Slark is supposed to do, right?
Yeah. And that's so fundamental. If he goes in with this Heavenly Grace...
As he jumps in immediately onto save. Go use the Disruption, the pounce again, though. He's leashed into place with the break. So it goes right in. There it is, the Guardian Angel. The egg gets used. Nightfall chasing after Carl over here on the side. Just moving away as fast as they can from that egg. Need a little bit more damage here. The Icarus dive, but there it is. Zephyr with this big Crystal Maiden ultimate. 23 Savage, double kill. Zephyr, the falling. As they're still hunting. BKB was popped on GPK. They do see Whitemon. Looks like they're going to try to make this change over to the side. They have the Sunder if they want to try to go for it. Nightfall would really probably love to have a little bit more life here. But he starts to back off a little bit. 23 Savage is here. The Sunray comes out as they'll take down Whitemon. And they just need a little bit more catch. Carl trying to run away from the Zoof that's chasing him. 23 Savage, he's back and healthy. And they're looking possibly to be engaged, but GPK will already... almost managing to land that pounce of time.
And you can see kind of the theory behind T1's lineup right now. Like, they're going for like these massive clutch plays. Like, if you waste a key stun on this Slark running in at you, that's when it unlocks CM to come in with the big freeze in field. And because of Terrorblade not going for the BKB like I mentioned, it will allow for these big moments to occur. Zephyr can shine off of 23 Savage being the thorn in VP's side. Like, we're going to see the replay here. It starts with the Heavenly Grace from 23 Savage. He's running in. Disruption's now down, okay? Can CM use ultimate? Yes. There's still a roar available. That's why you're not seeing CM trying to get into the middle of the fight.
There's another fight breaking out. That was 23 Savage going right back into the fight, chasing after GPK here. Does have that BKB Coup trying to stay alive as well. They've got a Sunray. Nightfall chasing after them. They get the roar off over onto the Omni Knight, so they won't have Coup available any longer. Carl also trying to run. They do manage to get the stun up over onto 23 Savage, but they need more. They need to hold him into place. As that's a nice torrent. It'll slow everyone down. They do manage to go and throw out that Disruption. Buyback now coming out from Cuckoo. They'll end up losing Whitemon.
Looking
for this opening. Again, we see this beautiful ultimate coming out from Christmas. Everyone's forced to run away. DM sitting so very low. 23 Savage will be the cleanup crew as Carl was trying to finish off over here, and he was not able to do it. An egg will force everybody away as DM falls. 23 Savage placed into the Disruption. This is a dead save. The egg will pop. They're still trying to kill the Slark. It is so gosh dang hard, but they eventually managed to do it with the help of a Sunray, and GPK will get the kill.
You have to respect like the aura of confidence for T1 to try and pull this off. Like they're playing around a Crystal Maiden, Moxie. That like their character Slark is not playing for himself right now. He is playing to tank the necessary stuns to allow Zephyr to make these big plays, and unfortunately doesn't connect. Unfortunately, aren't able to really capitalize on it because VP, they're tipping the Phoenix. He's able to get a really good egg off to disengage the fight, and of course the Sunray chase down on the Slark to finally get rid of the thorn in their side. But yeah, VP, I think they probably were giggling a little bit in the draft, but now they're feeling the
pressure.
A little bit of the pressure for sure. And maybe Terrorblade, no, still doesn't want to BKB. He's now going for a Butterfly.
They're in this Roche pit. No Slark for another 12 seconds or so. There are people playing around the area, but I don't think they want to make this engagement by any means, especially not with the roar. They've got nice vision. They also have the dive bomb available now over on DM, so this zoo has just become even more deadly.
Yeah, again.
Carl, Sunray, look, immediately trying to just run into the tree line. It's like they'll put their pressure over on the tower instead. They do realize that Carl's got to be over. In fact, look at this, the dive bomb. Boo! Right over there. They'll cut down the trees and they'll force out the BKB and the boat.
He doesn't want to die at all.
No one usually wants to die.
No, not really, no.
Except for Oracle.
And maybe
literally says that,
yeah. Maybe Huskar.
Phoenix sometimes, maybe.
Griefers, yeah, down mid.
Zephyr, though, of course, hiding off to the side. Still working on that BKB. 23 Savage sees GPK starting to stack up those Essence Shift stacks, but he has to be careful. Does sit a little bit low. Does have Shadow Dance available as well. So the rest of the team following up behind him. Let's jump forward immediately again. Good save coming out from Save. We'll turn it. Still looking very healthy here. Again, trying to make the most of this time before the enemy team starts to close the window on the draft of T1.
Yeah, Scotty's and about 2,000 gold away from 23 Savage.
DM.
Oh.
Sunray to open. Nightfall joining in the fight. Viper also teleporting in over on this Dragon. Ku is going to be left behind. So focus their attention over on Whitemon. Next over here, despite that Essence Ring, it's nice, but the dive bomb will hold you into place, and that will be a dead Ku.
Yeah, T1 getting a little bit too happy with their playstyle there. Like you saw in the mid lane, Kunkka was just freely farming up. So every single move 23 Savage was making, it wasn't with the understanding of, oh wait, if they jump my team, they'll also be able to live. T1 needs to rely on the body system. Like if Slot's going to jump, Omni's helping him. If Omni's getting jumped, there's a Kunkka to help him. And if they're all getting jumped, Crystal Maiden's coming in with an ultimate.
23 Savage save, walking up here with GPK immediately, though, blinking away.
Slark with Blink Dagger is very hard to kill, because of course the night vision. But Carl, once again, we've seen him in this position before. He has the BKB and the boat.
Yes, indeed. They can roar him, though. They can cancel it out, and he's buying himself some time. He is water bending. We have the Torrent Storm coming through, but there's just too many heroes here, too much damage, and Carl will sink with the ship.
Good old roll. BKB piercing, very cool.
BKB piercing spells are very essential. If you notice, most of the teams nowadays are drafting at least one, if not more.
Yeah, Nightfall now about to complete the butterfly, which means 23 Savage isn't able to just so confidently run up and poke him. And the whole concept of Diffusal Blade on Slark being cool is fully mitigated. So you could buy a BKB, or you could just buy a butterfly and just do more damage. And that's where VP, they're just going to play around this Terrorblade now. He's got to the point where he can now win the game. He has 19,000 net worth compared to the Slark's 15,000. Going to hit mid-tier 2, sorry. And then just slowly make their way through the map. DM slightly.
He steals himself his own Terrorblade here. I think one of the things with Nightfall is just he's used to having his supports and his team back him up. He feels confident enough that he doesn't need to go for this particular item at this point.
No, exactly, yeah. Like, the butterfly is also an excellent choice.
23 Savage teleporting back in now. The disruption. Oh, we have extra Terrorblades now.
So many illusions. The SD as well.
So many. Look at them all. They just rip through all the buildings.
Yep. And they're just going to move to most likely the top tier 2, but of course the Enchantress with the illusion. Yeah.
Oh, 23 Savage, he took so much damage. He just showed up. The dive bomb. Oh my goodness. That was almost a very dead fish. Another disruption from Save. Just wants to make some more of these illusions of Nightfall. We're trying to find the opening here. Carl looking for a cleave angle or something. Heavenly Grace, again, the BKB coming out from Carl. 23 Savage jumps into the middle of everyone. Boat will connect, though, over onto Nightfall, but they'll just go push him forward. And again, this Torrent Storm is very annoying, but they'll turn right back around again. This Crystal Maiden letting it, another save coming out here from Save. They'll get right back up. Again, 23 Savage is just getting shredded with the amount of damage, and they still have the Sunray on him, so it doesn't matter about that Guardian Angel, even though it was absolutely beautiful. Ku fleeing for his life. Now they have the dive bomb. They're just going to chase him right back into the fountain. He can't even be allowed to go home to die.
And there it is.
There's the GG call.
Yeah, from the draft, it did feel like VP just kind of, they had a very strong read on T1. T1 came into this game